What's up guys and welcome to FPL Today. I'm your host JNO, welcome to the channel and welcome to what we learned for Game Week 21, where we look back at Game Week 20, see what we can gather from the games to help us advance in the Fantasy Premier League moving forward into Game Week 21. And before we get into today's video, just want to ask, how was your guys' Christmas? Hopefully it was really good. I had a good Christmas, nice and relaxing, actually had 3 days off for the first time in a long time, so it was a good Christmas for me. Hopefully it was the same for you. Let me know in the comments down below. And we start off with the Spurs versus Southampton game, and this game was vitally important for Harry Kane because this was his chance to actually become the top scoring striker in a year. So Alan Shearer already held the record for this, and Harry Kane just needed to score one more to become the player that scored the most goals in a calendar year, and boy did he perform for this, but we'll get into that into a second. But this was a big game as well because of course Spurs do have the blank game week in Game Week 21, so we needed those assets to do well in this game for them to possibly be on the bench until Game Week 22 where they have the double game week. Kane and Spurs started off extremely brightly with Dele Alli, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane all looking very sharp and showing signs of things to come, with a quick counter-attacking move that almost resulted in Harry Kane getting his first. But it wasn't long before Harry Kane did get his first, as Danny Rose managed to win a free kick on the left, Christian Eriksen whipped the ball in, and to be honest, Southampton's defending was pretty poor as Harry Kane was left literally a yard or two away from the goal with an easy header to put it into the back of the net. That was his first goal of a hat-trick in this game. And to be honest, it could have gone differently. There was a moment when Danny Rose did try to head it back to Hugo Lloris and almost managed to lob him, but it was Tottenham Hotspurs that went and grabbed the second, as Dele Alli, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane linked up again for an easy tap-in for Harry Kane, so Spurs went in 2-0 at half-time. Southampton and Lemina started the second half off brightly, Lemina managing to hit the crossbar. However, after coming close, it was Dele Alli making the most of a very little with a low-driven shot into the far corner to make it 3-0. And then it was Son's turn to run onto a through ball from Dele Alli to finish with his right into the far corner from the right. Then Kane had his chance to get a hat-trick with a beautiful volley off of a through ball over the top to him. But it was the Saints that scored next, with Buffon managing to beat Hugo Lloris at his near post. Then Harry Kane was played through by Dele Alli with a beautiful chip over Fraser Foster to get his hat-trick and to finish his season off very nicely. And then Tadic would manage to lob Lloris after he punched clear a ball from a corner, but it ended 5-2 and Spurs looked very good in this one. On the plus side, this was a very strong performance at Wembley Stadium, which is what we've been waiting for as Fantasy Premier League managers. Also, it's 2 game weeks in a row now where Harry Kane has scored a hat-trick, so he's now back in form for that double game week, so I imagine a lot of people will be triple captaining Harry Kane, hoping for a big point haul. However, looking at the stats, Harry Kane at 12.9 million now managed to get 17 points with 3 goals and 3 full bonus points, and he had a chance every 11.3 minutes with no chances created in this game against Southampton. But there's also other options in the Spurs side to consider, especially with that double game week coming up. We've got Dele Alli at 9 million. He got 15 points from this game, getting into form now just before the double game week with 1 goal and 2 assists. He got 2 bonus points, and he had a chance every 42 minutes and created a chance every 28. And then we have Heung-min Son, who is a very popular option for a lot of people for the double game week at 8 million. He managed to get 14 points from 1 goal and 2 assists with 1 bonus point. Minutes per chance was actually at 76. He didn't have that many chances, but he did create a lot of chances with chance created at 25 minutes. So right now, Spurs attack is starting to come into form right when the double game week is just around the corner. Now with some potential rest as they don't play in Game Week 21, we could potentially see this side carry on this form into a double game week, which could be huge for Fantasy Premier League players. Hopefully we'll make the right call with it. I'm probably going to bring in one more Spurs player and a West Ham attacking player like Arnautovic. That is how I'm most likely going to approach a double game week, but I'm not going to do a massive overhaul or use my free hit because I feel like there might be a better point in the season to do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people did do that, so you may need to do the same just to keep up with people. We now move on to the Liverpool versus Swansea game, which of course ended up 5-0 in Liverpool's favour, and Liverpool pretty much dominated a Swansea that at times looked like a division or two below Liverpool in quality. Swansea started this game for the third time in 3 years being in the relegation area at Christmas time, and Philippe Coutinho would make sure their misery would continue. He started off extremely brightly and managed to score a beautiful long shot into the far corner with his right foot. If Coutinho continues this kind of form and stays at Liverpool in January, he could be an absolute essential player along with Salah in the Fantasy Premier League. And Liverpool continued to play some beautiful football in the first half, but could not find the second until after half-time, when a beautiful free kick, again from Coutinho, managed to find Firmino at the back post, who volleyed it home. Then a ball crossed in, was headed out by Swansea's defence, but Trent Alexander-Arnold picked it up, run forward and finished it beautifully into the top corner. Then Salah, against the wishes of those that captained him, instead of selfishly taking a shot when he's through on goal with his right foot, passed it inside to Firmino for Firmino to score his second. And then by the time Alex Chamberlain scored the fifth, to be honest, it looked like an exhibition game by this point, as Swansea's defence was literally not pressing at all, and Liverpool players had so much time on the ball they were walking around occasionally. Swansea looked really poor in this game, and they need to do something drastically to at least be more organised against the big teams and have better performances overall. Looking at the top performers from this game, Alexander-Arnold actually came in with the best points from this game. 15 points from a clean sheet and 1 goal scored with 2 bonus points. However, it was the only chance he had in the game, so I wouldn't assume he's going to continue this goal scoring trend. We then have Philippe Coutinho, who managed to get 13 points from 1 goal and 1 assist with 2 bonus points. His minute per chance was at 22.5 and his minutes per chance created was at 18. And we had Firmino at 8.9 million, who got 13 points from 2 goals, 3 bonus points in total. And he managed to get a minute per chance at 17 minutes and a minute per chance created at 34. A lot of options right now in that Liverpool side, with Mohamed Salah also someone to consider. I definitely think right now you need Liverpool and Man City players in your team to be getting the most out of your game weeks. Moving on to the next game, and we're looking at Bournemouth versus West Ham. And West Ham were of big interest for us Fantasy Premier League managers, as they also have a double game week in Game Week 22 and a blank in Game Week 21. And after some recent good defensive performances, a lot of people were considering defenders, but I think this game pretty much killed off any chance of us wanting to bring in West Ham defenders, which is why I preach not to always jump on a little bit of good form. A lot of good form, of course, jump straight on it, but 1 or 2 games where a team does really well isn't always a necessity to jump on the trend of that team straight away. Bournemouth have been hit with a few injuries going into this game, and Lanzini did return, and West Ham got off to a very good early start with Cresswell whipping in a near post cross and Collins heading it home. After that, both sides came very close to scoring, for a free kick lofted into the box eventually fell to Dan Gosling for Dan Gosling to volley home. Then Francis should have been sent off in my eyes with a high boot to Chiarte. Now, in my eyes, if we are now considering any bit of dangerous play a red card, then it shouldn't matter the intent. That's already been proven in various other situations. So here, despite the fact I know his intent, Francis's intent, was not to kick Chiarte in the face, he did, and that's endangering the player, so it should have been a red in my eyes. That's the way I see it, but leave your view in the comments down below. And then a planned corner routine from Bournemouth saw the ball fall to Nathan Ake, who put the ball away comfortably to take the lead, going in at half-time at 2-1. In the second half, Begovic was extremely unlucky to slip at the vital moment when he should have been kicking the ball, which allowed Arnautovic to make it 2-2. And then West Ham actually went in the lead. Masaka, with a run down the left, managed to find the ball into the box to Hernandez, who couldn't score as it was saved by Begovic, but then Arnautovic got on the rebound. And then with 6 minutes of added extra time, Ake heads it back across the goal from a cross, and Wilson puts it into the back of the net. The linesman calls it for offside, I believe. If he didn't call it for offside, he called it for handball. Whatever he called it for, the referee went over, spoke to him, and overruled his linesman, giving Bournemouth a point from this game and losing West Ham 2 points. Me personally, what's the point in having the linesman if you're not going to listen to their judgment when they can clearly see what happened better than the referee? But I am a little bit biased as I do follow West Ham. But either way, I personally think this should have gone down as a West Ham win, unless of course Bournemouth scored some other way after that goal was disallowed. But coming from this game, Arnautovic is looking like a incredible player at the moment at 6.9 million, 15 points from 2 goals, 3 bonus points, and a minute per chance created at 30 minutes each. And then Dan Gosling also showing that he could be a viable option from that Bournemouth team at 4.8 million. He got 12 points from 1 goal and 1 assist, 2 bonus points, and he got a chance every 30 minutes and created a chance once in the game. And then we have Ake at 4.9 million. He got 9 points from 1 goal and 1 assist. Bonus points was 0, however he did have a chance every 30 minutes and created a chance every half. So Ake definitely having some good underlying stats there for a defender. We then move on to the Man United versus Burnley game, and this was a disappointing one for the Man United fans as the game ended up 2-2. Burnley started off extremely brightly, and I think this caught Man United off guard. Rojo conceded a foul, giving Burnley a free kick on the left, and after the ball bounced around a bit in the box, Ashley Barnes managed to lash it home, and then Burnley came close to a second with a volley that hit the crossbar from Arfield before Luke Shaw had a low-driven shot that was saved by Pope. Then Defoe had a free kick, and to beat De Gea from a free kick from this range, it has to be a good free kick. And this was an absolute belter from Defoe. I don't think you'll see many free kicks better this year. And then Manchester United, desperate to get back in the game now, 2-0 down, started peppering the Burnley goal, but goal line clearances, blocks, and even nicked Pope's face, stopping Lingard from what should have been a certain goal. Kept it at 2-0 for a while, but it took a moment of magic for Manchester United to score against Burnley with a beautiful flick from Lingard after a cross-in from Ashley Young. And then it was Lingard popping up in the box again while the ball was bouncing around a little bit to volley home to make it 2-2. And to be honest, Lingard right now is looking impressive with so far 13 points from this game, 2 goals and 2 bonus points, but he's been getting a lot of goals in these games at the moment, and he had a chance every 15 minutes. And then Ashley Young again looking very good. 5.1 million is very cheap for a midfielder, 11 points from 2 assists and 3 bonus points. He had a chance once in the game and created a chance every 23 minutes, so both looking like very good options for our midfield. And then we'll just talk about the other performers, and this is recorded before the Manchester City and Arsenal game, so apologies if some of them should be in here, but they're not. But Marcos Alonso at 7.1 million managed to get 14 points from a clean sheet and 1 goal with 2 bonus points. Absolutely great player at the moment with some free kicks that are looking absolutely on the money. He almost scored with a free kick in this game, but instead scored with a header, which shows he has more than just his free kicks as far as an attacking threat. So Alonso, even at 7.1 million, could be worth it. And then Pickford from Everton, 4.8 million, managed to get a clean sheet and 3 saves and 3 bonus points from the game, which meant he got 10 points overall. So he's looked very, very good so far. And in this Everton team that has a better and more organised defence, potentially we could be looking at a steal at 4.8 million for Jordan Pickford. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video as always. If I don't do another video before New Year, Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you so much for the support in 2017. Hopefully we can continue this sort of growth in 2018. It has meant the world to me to have something like this to work on and be proud of. So thank you guys so much. I will hopefully do a My Team after all the games are finished. And of course there'll be some live streams before the new year. Just not 100% sure when yet. But make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to know when I'm going live. Also, leave a comment down below with your transfer plans for Game Week 21. I'll try and reply to as many of those comments as possible. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.